Okay, so the Arabian Gray G550 with the professional pack, we ended up selling it to a guy that found us on TikTok down in North Carolina, and he had two cool trades. This is the first Inos Grenadier I've ever seen, in person before. And he also had a Bronco Raptor. But this is super cool to me because I've always been a fan of the original Defenders, and this is basically a recreation of the original Land Rover Defender, which is nothing like the one that we have now from Land Rover. But I mean, it looks like an old school Defender, which they only sold in the US for a couple of years because they very quickly didn't meet the updated safety regulations. But I want to check this thing out. I hear it's like a tank. I'm guessing no keyless entry, no. So it's like an old G-Wagon, cool. Okay. Whoa, so this really is like a cockpit. This is wild. I feel like I'm inside of a plane. Look at these. It's like an individual little sunroof that you've got here. I feel like I'm in a tank for sure. I would guess, so it actually uses a physical key. Wow, that's wild. And this is a 2024. Now this looks like a gear shifter out of mid-2000s BMW. So I'm guessing they sourced that part.
So the engine is a 3-liter inline 6 made by BMW.
Okay.
It's a 284 horse.
Does this even have navigation? I kind of don't feel it does.
Doug, it's got a compass. There's your navigation, buddy.
Okay, well I guess that's all you need. Let's just take this quickly around the... Oh, look at that, mirrors folded in. Wonder what that's about. Look at the graphics here on the screen.
That's
that is
literally Beamer.
Yeah, hard to believe that. I mean, again, this is a startup company. It certainly feels like a tank. You know, we had a, oh man, the turning radius is horrific.
Does the wheel go back when you let go?
A little bit.
What are all these switches for?
Wow, dude, the steering is very, wow, this is an adjustment to drive.
I heard there's a lot of play in the wheel.
There's a lot of play. I mean, look at this. All of that, and I'm barely changing where the car is going.
Imagine if you had to swerve out of the way or something.
Yeah, I think that in a high-speed situation where you needed to swerve, this would be a dangerous car.
But it might also tighten up at high speed.
It might. They certainly look cool. Wow, dude. There's no mistaking what this is meant to be, and honestly, I love the look of it. I don't know if I could live with this on a daily basis. I mean, I understand I feel like once you've had upgraded technology in a car, it suddenly changes everything for you. One of the things that we've noticed with G-Wagon owners is that the second that the 25s landed with keyless entry, touchscreen, wireless CarPlay, all of a sudden it was like everyone immediately was annoyed with their 2024 and Pride. And you know what I mean? Nobody cared until that day, and suddenly they were like, I can't stand it. Like, I can't stand using my key.
I know you can park better. The car's just not letting you.
I'll be honest with you, this is a hard car to drive. So there's no doubt that it's got a coolness to it. I wish that, like the old Defenders, that you could get jump seats in the back. That would be really awesome.
Yeah. What are all these switches?
They look like various power switches. I'm guessing that there's all kinds of auxiliary power. You could probably do some modifications to this, you know, add roof rack, lights, etc. I guess this is also the first Bronco Raptor I've seen in person, which these seem to be very popular, yet we're taking this one on trade, and we're taking another one on trade that'll be here in a couple of days. So it seems like a lot of people are looking to unload these right now. Red stitching.
Let me hop in.
Let's take a look at this.
So this is supposed to have some jump though, right?
It should. Turning radius is much better, but not great. I punched that Ineos very hard turning out of here. I probably would have run off onto the sidewalk because the steering just did not come back to center very quickly at all. I don't know if I would say, I mean, maybe there's a sport mode, but that didn't feel like it wanted to kick down on me very hard. I do have a big appreciation for the Broncos. I'm glad that somebody finally gave Wrangler a run for their money. You know, Jeep needed that competition. Maybe I'm jaded. All these years with Mercedes-Benz, I know. Super cool, probably not for me. At some point in my life, I want either like a vintage G-Wagon or a true vintage Defender with the jump seats in the back. You know, your thoughts, if you had to pick between the two, which one would you take? The Inos Grenadier, Ford Bronco Raptor. They're packaged similarly, but they have a very different feel.